Have you ever wondered why a woman's peace seems to orbit around your state of mind? Why her joy, her tone, and even her softness fluctuate depending on the calm or chaos within you? It's not manipulation. It's the quiet, invisible law of emotional polarity, one that governs attraction far deeper than charm or words ever could. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable. It's about becoming the still point in a world that constantly pulls her apart. You've seen it in her eyes before, that subtle shift between trust and tension. It's not caused by what you say, but by what you radiate. A woman doesn't listen only to your voice. She listens to the silence beneath it. She feels what your presence does to the atmosphere. If your peace is genuine, she softens. If it's performative, she tests. Her entire being is attuned to the energy behind your calm, because to her, your composure represents safety, strength, and truth. Most men misunderstand this dynamic. They think a woman's emotional storms are random, or worse, that she simply loves drama. But her storms are often reflections of the emotional instability she senses within the man she's with. She doesn't consciously choose to react that way. Her instincts do. The feminine feels through reflection. She feels who you are, not who you claim to be. And here lies the first great contradiction of attraction. The more you chase her approval, the less she can trust your strength. When your peace depends on her validation, she instinctively pulls away, because she cannot rest in a man who rests in her. She's wired to feel safe in your gravity, not responsible for it. You've seen men fall into this loop, over-explaining, over-apologizing, over-giving, believing they can earn her peace by absorbing her storms. But that kind of emotional availability is not leadership, it's surrender. The more a man tries to fix her emotions, the more she feels unseen. Because deep down, what she truly seeks is not a man who manages her feelings, but one who masters his own. Your composure becomes her mirror. When you remain steady, she recalibrates. When you waver, her storm expands. This is the subtle power of masculine energy, the power to influence the emotional tone of the space without ever raising your voice. Your presence either creates order or fuels chaos. And when you embody calm strength, when your peace becomes immovable, she feels that order. She trusts that stillness. Her nervous system synchronizes with yours. It's biological, psychological, and spiritual all at once. Imagine standing before her when she's overwhelmed. Her voice sharp, her tone rising. Most men respond with the same heat, matching her energy, trying to win through logic or dominance. But the Stoic man does something different. He listens, he breathes, he does not flinch. And in that silence, she begins to feel something shift. Her mind calms, not because you told her to, but because you showed her what calm feels like. Your restraint communicates what words never could. It says, I'm here, I'm grounded, you cannot pull me away from myself. That message cuts deeper than affection or reassurance, because it speaks to the deepest feminine instinct, the need to feel safe in the presence of unwavering strength. When you hold that space, she doesn't just respect you, she surrenders to the safety you represent. But don't mistake composure for coldness. It's not about withdrawing into distance or silence as a shield. True composure is alive. It breathes with awareness. It feels everything but chooses nothing impulsively. It's emotional discipline disguised as effortless presence. A man like that doesn't suppress emotion, he channels it. He knows when to act and when to hold, when to speak and when to let silence speak for him. And women feel that precision. They feel the control in your tone, the patience in your gestures, the self-respect in your distance. It pulls them closer, not because you chase, but because you don't need to. Your energy declares, I am enough as I am. And that quiet certainty unsettles her in the best way possible, because she can sense that her emotions cannot control you. You are the immovable object her storms secretly long to meet. Every woman will test for this, even the gentle ones. She'll challenge your calm, not because she desires chaos, but because she wants to feel the weight of your presence. She needs to know that your peace is real, that it's not something she can easily disturb. Her tests are not rebellion, they are instinctual confirmations of strength. She pushes against your edges to see if they hold, and when they do, something ancient inside her exhales. That's the inversion most men never see. Her resistance is often a search for reassurance. Her challenge is her way of asking, "Can you handle all of me and still remain you?" If you can, she relaxes. If you can't, she spirals. That's why your peace must come from a place deeper than emotion. It must be forged through mastery. It's not a mood, it's a state of being. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man's mind becomes unconquerable when he ceases to depend on anything outside himself. In relationships, this truth translates to power, not power over her, but power within yourself. The kind of power that stabilizes, guides, and protects through presence alone. When a man reaches that state, he doesn't argue. He doesn't explain his worth. He doesn't need her to agree. His calm becomes the argument, his energy the evidence. And a woman can feel it, deeply, instinctively. It commands respect without demand, affection without effort, and trust without request. Your calm becomes her compass. Your composure becomes the unseen gravity that steadies her world. And slowly, without realizing why, she begins to crave that steadiness. Her tone softens when she speaks to you. Her gaze lingers longer. She starts to measure her own emotions by yours. Because in your silence, she doesn't feel ignored. She feels safe. That's the quiet dominance of the Stoic man. The ability to regulate not just his emotions, but the emotional climate of the space he inhabits. Not through authority, but through energy. Not through control, but through command. And once you reach that level of stillness, once your peace becomes untouchable, she doesn't just desire you, she begins to believe in you. Now consider the unseen currents beneath every interaction. Women are not passive observers of your actions. They are evaluators of your energy, your rhythm, the invisible architecture of your presence. What most men perceive as mere conversation or gestures is to her a network of signals. A man's calm, his boundaries, the unspoken rhythm of restraint. And when you understand this, you see that attraction is not granted. It is measured, calculated by instinct, and shaped by what you allow to ripple outward from yourself. A woman's mind operates in loops of assessment, reward, and emotional mapping. She watches not just how you respond to her words, but how your inner state refracts across the world. When you walk into a room carrying tension, even subtle, she senses it as dissonance. When you walk in anchored in poise, it is magnetic. She unconsciously aligns her emotional tides with your rhythm. Your inner state becomes the unspoken law she observes, an invisible force that she evaluates against her instincts for safety, curiosity, and desire. This is where Machiavellian understanding becomes essential. It is not about deception in the crude sense, but about perception management through mastery of self. By remaining steady, you orchestrate her environment without uttering a command. She will test for cracks, probing with contradictions, emotional shifts, and subtle inversions of behavior, not to trap you, but to confirm your constancy. Here lies a truth overlooked by most men. She does not need to be persuaded. She needs to witness that your inner structure is immovable. Her compliance, her attraction, her respect, all are reactions, not directives. Observe the rhythm of her attention. She mirrors you in micro-behaviors. A pause in your speech creates a pause in hers. A calm glance reshapes her tension. A controlled breath invites reflection in her body. Each instance is a lesson in psychological gravity. You are not bending her will. You are shaping her environment through quiet mastery. This is Stoic power manifested, discipline in the moment producing natural consequence. She responds to the man who navigates the storm of life without surrendering to it, whose emotions are anchored in reason yet carried with presence. Contrast this with the average man, reactive, imbalanced, seeking affirmation through his own instability. He mirrors every disruption, responds to every fluctuation, and becomes a chaotic echo of her moods. She does not respect him. She fears the unpredictability. Attraction falters because her instincts detect instability. What she craves is the opposite: predictability in character, fluidity in composure, and the undeniable weight of self-mastery. Temporal awareness amplifies this effect. Consider that the woman you engage with today is not only assessing your behavior in the moment, but is unconsciously recording a pattern over time. She notes consistency, reliability, and calm under pressure. These observations are encoded into her perception of you as a man worthy of investment, of attention, of trust, of desire. Each moment you remain steady compounds like a ledger of respect in her subconscious. Every flinch, every defensive gesture, every lapse in control erodes it. Stoicism teaches that the only power truly yours is the governance of your own mind. Machiavelli teaches that perception governs influence. Combined, these principles reveal an essential dynamic. The man who masters himself shapes the world around him, invisibly yet inevitably. In the realm of female psychology, this manifests as attraction, respect, and a subtle dominance that is earned, not demanded. Consider how subtle reversals amplify this dynamic. When she expects a reaction and receives none, curiosity is triggered. When her test fails to elicit disturbance, tension inverts into intrigue. This is not manipulation. It is the natural response of a mind-sensing structure where chaos could exist. Your emotional rhythm dictates hers. When you are calm, she leans in. When you are distracted or reactive, she retreats. Every interaction becomes a microcosm of influence, a study in polarity and gravity. Visualize the scenario. She presents volatility, perhaps frustration or indecision, and most men rush to intervene, explain, or soothe. You do none of these. Instead, you meet her energy with composed observation, your demeanor unaltered, your awareness complete. She watches, evaluates, adjusts. She is aware that something in her environment is constant, something she cannot sway. Her curiosity intensifies. Her respect deepens. She feels the structure of a mind that cannot be perturbed, and in that sensation, desire quietly flourishes. Psychology supports this. Behavioral studies show that humans are wired to seek predictability in their environment, particularly from those they invest emotionally in. Women instinctively evaluate men on stability, presence, and the ability to tolerate tension without collapse. Your composure is interpreted as competence, your steadiness as leadership, and your restraint as security. Attraction, then, is not a transaction. It is an emergent property of energy mastered. Now layer in Machiavellian timing, strategic pauses, subtle calibrations in engagement, and the deliberate withholding of reaction amplify impact. She learns through contrast the difference between what she expects and what she experiences. This gap creates attention, suspense, and emotional tension. She is drawn not to your words, but to the space you hold between them, the stability that underwrites every gesture, the unseen authority that radiates in every controlled breath. Consider long-term implications. Over weeks, months, or years, her perception of you solidifies around these patterns. Emotional composure becomes synonymous with reliability, trustworthiness, and depth. Attraction is no longer about novelty or entertainment. It becomes reverence for a presence that resists erosion. And because you achieve this without coercion, without demand, and without volatility, it is self-reinforcing. The more composed you are, the more she invests emotionally, and the more she measures her own behavior against your unshakable energy. In this way, the Stoic Machiavellian man crafts a psychological landscape, invisible yet inescapable. He does not need to chase, flatter, or explain. His mastery of self broadcasts power, stability, and gravitas. His presence becomes a framework within which female instinct organizes itself. She does not recognize it consciously, yet she responds reflexively and continuously. The subtlety of this influence ensures that desire, respect, and attention are not won. They are drawn. This is the essence of the interplay between self-mastery and attraction. It is timeless, it is universal, and it is profoundly transformative for the man who understands it. Because once you inhabit this state consistently, the world responds differently. Not just women, but colleagues, peers, and the environment itself. Stability becomes magnetic, composure becomes authority, and quiet mastery becomes your signature. By understanding the loops of behavior, timing, and perception, you move from reactive engagement into strategic presence. Every glance, every pause, every measured breath becomes a statement of control. She senses this authority, she respects it, and gradually, unconsciously, her emotional world orients itself around yours. What you have created is not manipulation. It is influence born from mastery, subtle and inescapable. And with each interaction, each day, each moment, you reinforce the cycle. Presence stabilizes perception. Perception shapes emotional response, and emotional response amplifies respect and attraction. The man who can hold this awareness moment to moment is not merely present. He is architect, conductor, and gravity all at once. By now, you understand the hidden architecture of influence. You see how every pause, every controlled breath, every moment of unwavering composure resonates far beyond the surface. But the ultimate truth lies not in technique, it lies in your transformation. When you inhabit this state fully, your presence ceases to be a mere reflection of circumstance. It becomes the force around which circumstances bend, the anchor in the storm that others unconsciously measure themselves against. Her happiness no longer feels conditional or fragile. It exists as a byproduct of your mastery, your ability to remain whole when everything around you fractures, when words clash, when emotions surge unchecked. She doesn't demand it. She experiences it. She doesn't test to unsettle you. She tests to confirm your constancy. And in that confirmation, attraction, respect, and emotional investment crystallize with quiet inevitability. This is the apex of Stoic insight fused with Machiavellian awareness. The man who governs himself governs perception. Your state becomes the unseen architecture of her world. You are no longer merely reacting, you are orchestrating reality with presence alone. Every gesture, every glance, every controlled silence radiates weight, intention, and authority. You speak less, yet your voice resonates louder than any argument. You move less, yet your influence flows farther than any effort. Consider this. Most men will expend endless energy trying to impress, please, or cajole, believing that attraction is won through effort. You understand that true power lies in being, not performing. The quiet confidence of your composure becomes the stage on which her emotions play, and she orients instinctively to that gravity. Every fluctuation in her mood becomes a reflection of your inner steadiness. Every question she asks a probe into your permanence. Every test a silent measure of your authority. Now reflect on the consequences. Her respect deepens over time, her trust consolidates, and her desire grows. Not because you have convinced her, but because she has felt you. She cannot help it. Your emotional composure acts as both mirror and magnet. She experiences stability in you as she would the calm center of a stormy sea, an anchor that resists disruption. And in that anchor, she finds herself unconsciously tethered, attentive and drawn. And when she senses this, subtle, undeniable, silent, her world shifts. She begins to perceive you not as just another man, but as the embodiment of something ancient and enduring, mastery, presence, and quiet dominance. Your calm ceases to be a skill or tactic. It becomes mythic. She is not evaluating you moment to moment. She is internalizing the law of your being. She knows that beneath the surface, your peace is unshakable, and in that knowledge, her attraction becomes instinct, her respect becomes reverence, and her attention becomes devotion. So remember this, her happiness is not your responsibility, yet it reflects the depth of your mastery. Every moment of control you maintain, every pause you hold, every storm you endure, becomes the scaffolding of her emotional world. And in that reflection, you are no longer ordinary. You are the man who shapes perception, commands respect, and inspires desire simply by being. The final truth endures. When you master yourself, you transform her world, and in doing so, you redefine what it means to be a man she cannot ignore, a presence she cannot escape, and a force she will always respect.